Pure Boys Podcast. You open your app, then listen to us, yeah. On and on and on, talking Christian movies, 'cause it's just the Pure Boys Podcast. Pure Boys Podcast. Pure Boys Podcast.
Who watches the Watchers? It's us. We are the Watchers. Spoiler alert.
That is the only thing that you didn't need to say at the beginning.
What up, everyone? Welcome to Pure Boys, a Christian cinema podcast. I'm Zachariah Ty Bryant, and a Benny Gesserit.
And I am Benghazi.
Benghazi, a part of the Igigi. And this week, I'm Annunaci, and you're an Igigi.
Yeah, I'm definitely an Igigi.
Absolutely.
'Cause you have to make me.
Exactly. You are my son. So this week we are talking about the 2013 some guy special, The Watchers: Revelation, or as it's written on PureFlix, Watchers Revelation.
Yeah, they really took out the on that one.
They didn't have time for it. They're like, it'll confuse the lists. We can't. If we were gonna put all the thes together, get rid of all the thes. It won't matter.
Yeah, their sorting programming doesn't have time for that.
It's not the Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Rings.
We are the Watchers.
We are the Watchers. We are the Watchers. So,
that Jamaican ending.
Oh my God, this movie is a real treat, y'all. This is a real. You want answers about space and time and all that stuff? We got them all for you.
Yeah, space and time and aliens and angels
and the Illuminati and the Annunaci and the Bene Sumahr and all kinds of words that are all for the same thing, but also for different things, and it's very confusing.
Well, deception is what the Annunaci does best.
Exactly, that's right. But before we get into the Annunaci and the Annuki and the Igigi and the Azizi and Aziz Ansari, we have to start this episode the way we start all episodes with the Pure Boys prayer. God bless our podcast. God bless all podcasts. I love you. Should we do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Annunaci. God bless our podcast. God bless all podcasts. I love you. Oh, that one was really good. That one felt really good.
Yeah, cut and splice that one.
Nah, we'll leave them all in. It's all good.
Yeah, of course we are.
I said I love you to my wife yesterday, and I realized that I probably say I love you more to you right now. Like in the last week, I've probably said I love you more to you than my wife.
We have said it quite a lot. We've spent a lot of time together over the past couple weeks. It's been a real treat.
Just yelling I love you at each other.
Yeah, in a very pronounced way, like, I love you.
I love you. It's very from the heart, you know? Where the devil lives.
Is that where the devil lives, inside your heart?
Yeah. He lives in your heart and makes you fart. Everyone knows that about the devil.
Do you mean Adon?
I do mean Adon. I mean Abaddon. Power, names are powerful.
That's where the connection is.
Yeah, because names are powerful. There's a man named Adon, but in the Bible there's a character named Abaddon. So clearly Adon must be the same guy as Abaddon, I guess.
And he is.
He turns out he is a man with glowy face, but we'll get to glowy face later. Right now, anything you want to talk about before we get to everyone's favorite segment?
What are you feeling about Christmas coming up this year?
Oh, so excited for Christmas. We're 269 days from Christmas. Very excited about it. The countdown has already begun. I don't know what I'm going to get my wife, but I don't know. It'll be something nice.
If you could hazard a guess,
Yeah.
what do you think you're going to get your wife?
Probably like a new Bible, because hers is all dog-eared and busted, and it's been through the ringer. It got washed in her backpack one time, so that a lot of the pages have washed away, and it's just her Bible is really
threw
wrecked.
her backpack with a bunch of stuff in the washing machine.
She didn't bother checking. She was just like,
No.
just wash it. It's fine. I'm like, well, what if there's sunscreen in the bag? And she was like, just wash it. And then
I'm shaking it. I can feel something in it.
it's heavy. I was just wearing it. I know there was stuff in it. She said, throw it in the wash. And I said, your Bible. And she said, get me a new one for Christmas. So I'll get her a real nice King James edition or something.
Let's get our wives matching Bibles.
Let's go to hotels and steal the Bibles from there. And then we don't have to spend any money except on a hotel room, which I guess costs way more than a Bible.
Yeah, but then we could go sliding.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's very true.
That pays for itself.
Yeah, that's very true. When I was in school, like post-secondary school, one of the people in my class lived in a just outside of the city, and there was a big snowstorm that hit, so she couldn't go home that night. And so instead she called her husband and was like, book me a hotel room at the hotel with the water slides. And then we found out you could bring like eight guests with you to go water sliding. So a bunch of us went water sliding that night, and it was very fun. Nothing else to that story.
It sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't been water sliding as an adult, and I'm pretty chaffed about it.
Oh man, you got to go. It's the best. You got to go. We'll make a trip to. I can say this name. We'll make a trip to Edmonton. We'll go to the West Edmonton Mall and
Edmonton,
Edmonton, or as they call it in Edmonton, because people there are stupid and they drop letters out of the name of their city. Edmonton. Are you from Edmonton? Edmonton. Dumb. I used to live there. They're dumb. Take that, Edmonton.
That's a real bow shot.
We got one listener there, and I'm calling him out. You live in a dumb town filled with dumb people, including yourself.
Yeah, your ring road is dumb.
That's right. Your water slides are sweet, though. I'll give you that. And your mall is big.
That's all you need, really.
Yeah, that water park has a slide it has a slide. And it also has another slide where you do a loop-de-loop in it. It's an enclosed tube, and you stand on a platform, and they drop the floor out, and you fall down a tube, and then you do a friggin' loop-de-loop. And it's a water slide.
And they can guarantee that you do not die?
I guess so. I guess that's a guarantee.
Do you have to be a certain weight for, like, the physics to work?
I'd imagine they probably wouldn't let kids on it or something like that. I almost went on it. I waited in line for like an hour and a half. It took that long to get to the top. And then when I was like 3 people from the top, they closed the pool because somebody puked in it. And they're like, it's going to be open in an hour. And I'm like, well, I'm not standing here for another hour. So I just left and went on other slides instead.
Man, that's got to be a real bummer for you.
Man, it would have been worse if I was next in line, but I mean, 3 from the top, that sucked as well. But yeah, not my best trip.
Oh man, I wouldn't have done it. I'm a real scaredy cat when it comes to like heights and
but
slides.
It's a tube though. You wouldn't even know. You would just be in a tube and then you'd be in the water.
Oh, you're in a tube. That's how they can guarantee no death.
Exactly. That's how they get you. But anyway. How are you feeling about Christmas? What are you going to get your wife?
Well, I'm going to get the same Bible that you get your wife. Mm-hmm. So probably pink, bedazzled.
Yeah.
Unicorn.
Signed
something
by
like
Pink.
That.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably like a leather strap or a belt or something.
Cool. That's hot. I'm into that. Yeah. You going to do some shibari? Some leather-based shibari?
Ropes and I don't know knots. Do you know knots?
No, I don't know knots. I was a beaver, but I was never a Boy Scout.
Yeah, I was a beaver too, never a Boy Scout.
Oh man, always a beaver, never a Boy Scout. Story of my life.
It sounds like something. That's something we could build on. I think we should bring that up in the future and maybe write a tell-all.
A real in-depth expose on the beavers.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Sounds great.
All right, should we get to it? Everyone's favorite segment. Except ours, which we hate.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, here it is, jabronis.
The Kevin Sorbo
tweet of the week.
Okay, we're talking God in this one.
Ooh.
Any gun ban is an infringement on our Constitution. Clap, 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 clap.
Thank you, Kevin, for being so brave.
Yeah, you really said the truth in this one.
The right to bear arms.
Nothing but the truth.
Citizens deserve the right to own bazookas. They definitely should own grenade launchers and bazookas and automatic rifles that were only made to kill people.
Fully automatic rifles that have hundreds of bullets in them.
Oh,
who cares?
Nonstop. Shoot up a crowd. They deserved it. Because you felt threatened. So, whatever justification you need to own an automatic rifle to kill as many people as possible, you deserve it, bud.
I mean, we should all have strike drones.
Yeah, of course we should. And like I don't know, mechs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you really want to take over the government, you need strike drones and mechs. Let's get away with guns.
Yeah.
Like let's put those to bed.
Yeah, let's
put to bed.
Let's destroy this god and gun culture and replace it with drones and mechs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it that stupid?
No, it makes so much sense. I played the Mech Warrior games. They're awesome. That future is awesome. Who wouldn't want to live in that future?
They're a wee bit slow, so that's why you need the strike drones.
Exactly.
For the pasties.
Exactly. Yeah. But when you're stomping around in a mech, stepping on people and trucks, you feel like God himself. So is there really anything wrong with that? You're getting closer to divinity.
Maybe that's what Kevin Sorbo's really afraid of.
I think
God's
so.
right now.
You should look at the rest of his tweets and see if he tweeted out like, can't wait to buy my mech. Something like that.
I'll tweet at him and see if he's into machinations.
Buy me a drone. Santa baby.
Buy me a drone.
Santa baby, leave a drone right under my tree. For me.
Perfect.
Well, once again,
we
Kevin.
We hate you, Kevin Sorbo.
We hate you so much. We hate that we made this a regular feature on our show. We've dropped other regular features, but this one will live on. So thank you for being an idiot.
The idea of that.
I hate you, Kevin Sorbo, but I love you, Lucy Lawless. So, whatever.
Well, Lucy Lawless is a good chap.
That's true, yeah. Well, anyway, that was the Kevin Sorbo Tweet of the Week.
We hate it.
We hate it. We hate that segment. Oh, well. All right. Are you ready to learn the truth?
And nothing but the truth.
So
help.
Mia Dawn.
Mia Dawn. So help Peter.
Oh, help me, Peter.
The
help me get her out of my heart. Yeah. All right. Well, then let's go. Let's God. It's time to talk about The Watcher's Revelation.
I'm so sweaty.
From what? Is that how the movie opens? Peter going,
I think
I'm
it's
so
my
sweaty.
Yeah, you get a picture of Jesus. He's in the desert.
Oh.
And he's just like kind of whiny. Like, I'm so sweaty.
That is the thing that the one thing the Bible didn't really capture about Jesus is how whiny he was. He was just always, my feet are dirty. My hands are sore.
For 80% of the time. I mean, when he had to be in public and say the right things and God spoke through him. Yeah. So he was kind of normies, but like every other day he would just whine about something.
Oh, man. Peter, there's not enough fish. Well, make more fish then, Jesus, but there's not enough bread.
Yeah, just a whiny birch.
Exactly, yeah. When Judas kissed him on the cheek, he was like, "Now my cheeks are wet." You're like, all right, man. Like, God, Romans, kill this guy. Cut his ear off or whatever.
That is the thing about those times is that they really lubed up their mouths when they kissed you on the cheeks.
Yeah. Well, they hadn't mastered kissing the way we have, or the French have, let's say. When they would kiss, they would like blow like spit through their lips. It was like exactly. And that's how they showed you leave the mark of a kiss on someone, and that was just a big spit blob that was on them.
Mark of the kiss.
Oh, 666, the mark of the kiss.
But of course we're joking.
Exactly. For Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light, said St. Paul.
Yeah, the most beautiful text comes on the screen with that message, and it really draws you into the film.
Oh, yeah. You see it and you go, why are some of these words in italics and some of them are not? Well, I guess we'll never find out.
Which one was it in italics? Is it into an angel of light, or was it the for Satan himself is transformed?
I think it was for Satan himself is transformed.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. The second one would make more sense if it was italicized.
Well, yeah, you're reading it like a Slitheracci into an angel of light.
And then the next shot you see is a beam of light entering Earth's atmosphere.
No, the next shot you see is friggin' outer space. You see Earth from space. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then you see the beam of light.
I know, but we got to establish that this beam of light comes from space. It comes from interstellar regions. It flies down to Earth. That's important.
I said enters Earth, but that's neither here nor there.
That's true, because it's February 11th, 1955. And we are
at Air Force Base, New Mexico.
That's right. You're going to see Kevin Bacon's dink and a gorilla turn inside out at the Hollow Man Air Force Base in New Mexico.
Why Hollow Man? Have you looked that up? Is that a real thing?
I didn't look that up, but I did look up February 11th, 1955, because I thought that might have been when like Roswell happened or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Nothing of note happened on February 11th, 1955, other than Sylvia Plath, famed American poet, was found dead in her apartment at age 30. That's the only notable thing I found on that day. It's like, that's a weird
coincidence.
I think not. I think Sylvia Plath was a Igigi. So
an Igigi?
An Igigi. Whatever.
Igigi.
These are all BS made up words. I don't know how to pronounce them properly.
But what it is an alien ambassador meets up with President Eisenhower for a meeting of the minds.
Is that supposed to be President Eisenhower?
I think so. I looked on the IMDb.
Bad casting, then. That guy doesn't... Nothing about that guy made me go, President Eisenhower. It was just, fat old man. Okay, cool.
You can take it up with Annie Williams, who did the casting for this.
I noticed after the actors, the first credit is casting by Annie Williams.
Ooh,
great work, Annie. You nailed it.
Really biffed her.
No, you nailed it with all of these characters. Everyone in this movie acts accordingly.
This movie made me realize I love bad acting. Like, I lap it up. This was one of my favorite movies, and the terrible acting was a reason.
These poor actors had to memorize just long monologues of nonsense. Like, so much dialogue in this movie is just exposition of garbage, and people just looking at each other and just, so I had this dream and just long dialogue. Nothing happens in it. And
naming of things and peoples that nobody has ever heard of, like the Igigi, the Annunaci.
Well, I've heard of the Annunaci because that's an Ancient Aliens thing, and I've watched, Exploring the Stars with Action Bronson, watching Ancient Aliens. So I've definitely heard of the Anunnaki in that sense, but didn't know any. I think, was the Anunnaki like a giant bird? I don't know. That's something in like ancient Sumerian texts or whatever.
I'm gonna go on a deep dive after this and
do it.
I love alien conspiracies. It's fun stuff.
Oh yeah. I'm with you. And it's fun to like speculate about that kind of stuff and like read. It's fun to meet someone who's so arrogant that aliens couldn't exist, but with a straight face goes, well, clearly a demon traveled from the physical world to the spiritual world. And you go, but wormholes aren't possible. Is that what you're telling me? Like, you don't believe in that kind of stuff, but you think that mysticism and spirituality is real in your world? I love it.
Yeah, this is my whole thing with what's Raiders of the Lost Ark? What's that series?
Indiana Jones.
Crystal Skull. Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
People had such a hard time with Crystal Skull because it, like, the whole thing is aliens.
Right.
and aliens came down, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's so unbelievable. That's so stupid. Why would he do that to Indiana Jones?" Do you not realize the first 3 movies were about God? Like, that is so much more unbelievable. And
Hey, careful,
out
careful,
there.
careful. Don't forget who pays our bills around here. David Ayer White and Pure Flakes.
You're right.
You know, we could... Go ahead.
I'm just saying that the two are both, out there stories, and you need a little faith for both.
Oh, do you ever? You don't need to choose between science and faith. It can be both. And I went, not really. Like, not really at all, actually. You can't say science and faith are the same thing, because they are very different from each other. One is children's stories, and one is provable science. So you can't really say that those are equal, because Tom Thumb is not the same as a friggin', I don't know, dark matter. Not the same stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a real underlying theme in this movie that, like, science and religion should be combined and are both
valid.
relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, valid. Valid's a great word for it. And it's, well, much like any theme throughout this movie, it doesn't get fleshed out or...
But you can blame that on Tom Dallas, who wrote and directed this movie. And much like you realized you love bad acting, I love... like when a movie has a singular vision where someone writes and directs and sometimes stars in that movie, like Heavenly Deposit or any of Frank D'Angelo's movies, or this movie where it's just one guy who was like, I've got this idea for a great movie. No one's going to help me do it. I'm going to get 50 grand from somewhere, because that was the budget of this movie. And I'm going to...
50K.
50. That's all it takes. It's all it takes to hire great actors whose names I didn't catch at all. Yeah.
My brain just farted hard. There are a lot of couples in the cast listing, like just like 3 sets of couples, probably just friends of Tommy D.
Oh, all these people go to Tommy D's church, I'm sure.
I honestly thought this was a student film for most of my watching of this movie until I looked up Tommy D, and he's like 80 years old.
Oh my, is he on Twitter? We should start following him and see if we can get him on the show.
He is on Twitter, and we're already following
my
him.
Man. That's why you run the Twitter, because you are the best at it. You are so good at you're on it. I appreciate you so much and how good you are at our Twitter.
I've never felt so much loved as I have in this moment.
It's, from my heart where the devil lives to your heart where your devil lives.
I was gonna do one of his tweets for Kevin Sorbo tweets of the week, but I felt like that was sacrilegious.
Yeah, I would have gone against God and all things that we hold holy, but I like the idea. Do you have a tweet of his geared up and ready to go?
I don't have it ready to go, no.
Because I would love to hear what Tom Dallas is about if you could find one really quick.
I can summate it for you. It's his logic of how Die Hard and Lethal Weapon aren't Christmas movies. He takes a logical, hard stance against those being Christmas movies.
Find that tweet. We need to hear exactly what Tom Dallas's thoughts are on Die Hard and Lethal Weapon not being Christmas movies, which I kind of get what he's saying in that they're not about Christmas. They're things that happen at Christmas. Fair. Maybe that's not his stance on it, but that's kind of like where I'm at. If it's not about Christmas, then fine. People make the argument of like, well, Bruce Willis wouldn't have been at Nakatomi Plaza if it wasn't for the Christmas party. And I go, well, it could have been a New Year's party. There's a million things it could have been. Christmas isn't really that important to it. I don't know. I feel like just a bunch of smug ding-dongs went like, oh, Die Hard's my favorite Christmas movie because I'm different than everyone else. And people went, that was cool like 10 years ago. Now when you say stuff like that, it's like, all right, we get it. You're quirky and weird and you go against the grain. Good for you.
Well, this took me forever to pull up, but I did pull it up.
Yes.
And I will read it to you.
Thank you. I'm glad I stalled it. I vamped enough. Let's God.
You vamped up a storm. Okay, Christmas film logic. Number 1. It is not a Christmas movie if Christmas is not essential to the theme of that movie.
Agreed.
Number 2, Christmas is not essential to the themes of Die Hard and Lethal Weapon.
Agreed.
Number 3, therefore, it follows that neither Die Hard nor Lethal Weapon are Christmas movies. End scene.
Does it really say end scene? Is that how he ends
It
all his
doesn't
tweets?
say it.
Oh, okay, that's too bad.
Maybe we should do that though.
Well, I don't. That would chew up precious hashtag room though.
Yeah, we really gotta.
We need room for
Cram
those
a lot of
hashtags.
hashtags.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
our
agree.
pay dirt.
I agree with you, Tom Dallas. I'm with you. While I love both those movies, and the fact that they're at Christmas is nice, I would not say that they are Christmas movies. I would say that Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie, because that movie is about Christmas, but I wouldn't say...
I think they're Christmas movies. I feel like people get excited for them. They happen during Christmas. They get their loved ones around, and they enjoy it during Christmas time, and it has Christmas in the background.
You know what? I'm going to take that logic one step further. I think... This is gonna go totally against everything I just said, but I don't believe anything that I say, so who cares? Don't take me at my word. My word is garbage. I think that any movie that you watch at Christmas is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I think that, that's totally fair and valid. I think that you can just do whatever you want at Christmas time. If, like you said, if it's so that you can gather your family and loved ones together to enjoy something at the same time every year, then it's a Christmas movie. My wife and I watch Lord of the Rings every Christmas season, and those are Christmas movies for us because we watch them at Christmas time. So
there is a lot of Santa in those movies, though.
Yeah, his name is Gandalf, please. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. Tom Dallas, you're an idiot. I totally changed my stance.
Also, who cares? Why are you trying to logic out movies from Christmas?
Yeah.
Get the frick out of here. Make Watchers 2 and...
make it a Christmas movie.
Make it a real Christmas movie, though.
Yeah, make it about the birth of Jesus, and also the Annunaci are there for some reason. I want to see Adon come back. I want to see Bana.
Okay, so they find a tablet.
Yeah, some college kids are digging. They find a tablet with like writing on it, and then they take a pencil and do a rubbing of it, I guess.
And then they try to bring it to the professor, and he's lounging in the shade with his other professors or his assistants, and he doesn't want to hear it. He's like, "Oh, you found something? Yeah, well, that's why we're here."
Well, like, especially considering what we find out later in the movie, his reaction doesn't make any sense. Like, he's just like, I couldn't care less about this find at this site. And then we find out later that he made a fake tablet and buried it in the ground so the kids could find it. But it's like, why are you being so blasé about it? Your plan is in motion now. Why are you being like, who cares? Whatever. That doesn't make any sense, Tom.
No, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Maybe he's just trying to be cool, so they
want to bang him.
Yeah, so Robert wants to bang him.
Exactly. I mean, it's much like Indiana Jones. All the girls at the dig site, on their eyes, they've written "I love you" or like "sex me" or whatever it says in Indiana Jones. I think it says "sex me" on her eyelids in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it probably says "sexy me."
Mm-hmm. From there, we cut to. I was very excited to see a BlackBerry phone show up.
I feel like it's going to be a theme between like 2009 to 2014 Christian movies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Christmas movies.
Yeah, well, maybe that too. But
yeah.
it happened in like a country song, and it's happened in this, and they're both made around the same time. So conspiracy me, conspiracy you.
Sex me. I think like a country song was like 2017, I think, wasn't it?
I thought it was 2014.
Might have been 20.
Who knows?
Whatever. Who cares? It's a Christmas movie. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
So then we meet maybe the two worst actors in the movie. Luckily, one of them dies. Like, one of them dies, and we don't have to see him anymore. But Jim and Sarah, her name was Sarah? Yeah. And, like, God, they're awful. Their dialogue is terrible, and they're just like, how do you describe it? I hated them.
Like a train wreck of acting.
Yeah, where it's like,
And-
where did you go? Oh, I was shaving. Oh, were you shaving? Oh, were you saw a
Stick out
bear?
your tongue.
You saw a bear? Yeah, stick out your tongue. You have blood on your neck. Oh, like just, you try shaving next to a river fighting off ferocious creatures. Oh, was it a bear? It was a squirrel. Like, Jesus Louise.
You summarized the scene pretty well, though.
Thank you. I paid attention.
Yeah, there's just this cute couple, and they're camping, and then things go wrong immediately.
And, oh yeah, so Jim has to go call his parents. Like, I gotta go call my parents to let them know that we're gonna come over tonight for supper at 5 or whatever. So, and then Sarah's like, I'll pack up. And he's like, oh, there's no reception here. I gotta go into this field where there's maybe reception. But like, you're leaving, so just wait till you're on the road to call them. Like, why do you have to call them right this second? You can wait.
It seems early enough that they could just wait until they get on the road. I think Jim just doesn't want to help pack.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Oh, don't forget about the time change. They're not at church yet. It's Central Time, so they're still an hour from church. Okay, great. Thanks.
So he goes off to call him, and he doesn't come back for a while. Turns out he was taken.
By the Watchers, by the Annunaci. No, yeah, by the Annunaci.
Yeah,
So
Annunnakis.
Sarah finds him, and he has...
And
Go ahead. You're excited. Go ahead.
well, he comes back, and he has a full beard.
Mhm.
And this is impossible. I don't understand your beard.
They've been watching us all those days. You've only been gone an hour. Like, I love that this movie goes out of its way to be like, we're heading back to civilization in minutes, but you needed to go shave in a river first before we drove back to the city where presumably you will have a shower and would have time to shave. Just so later you can have a full beard. Great.
Yeah, that's great script writing.
Mhm.
That's continuity
Mhm.
personified.
That is logic. Facts and logic.
And then we get to meet Uncle Josh.
Oh, hey, it's me, Uncle Josh. I have the weirdest eyes I've ever seen. They are sucked into my head.
Oh, man.
And he's got like a perfectly trimmed mustache that sits right along his lip line. It's a little distracting.
I think it's because when they do conversation shots, they close up so much to their face.
Man.
It's ridiculous. To the point where you can see the bottom of his mustache, and it's so straight and like perfectly cut that it's abrasive.
It is, yeah. It's I love the cinematography in this movie.
I
Because
said cinematography to myself so many times during this movie.
I love how you said it once. You slipped to the tongue in Beckman, and now no, cinematography is where it's at. It's all about the cinematography now. But
Yeah.
it's like whoever filmed this movie. This is why I think you partly why I'm guessing you thought it was like a student film, because like it is shot so poorly. Wide shots don't include both people. Like, it's like if two people are sitting across from each other talking, they are at the farthest edges of the frame to the point where like half of them is not in the frame. And then like there are scenes like I thought like I needed to expand my window or something, that like my screen was zoomed in, and I was like, oh, I'm missing like half the movie here. So I tried to like make it bigger and zoom it out, and it just changed nothing. It just was bigger and worse. Just shoot it properly. Pull the camera back. Like, pull the camera back 1 foot. That's all you have to do. It doesn't have to be that tight all the time.
It was so tight.
Oh, so tight.
And like the camping scene, it looks like green screen, but it's just poorly lit and poorly shot to the point where you think it's green screen.
There was a few
It's
times where I
that
thought it was
bad.
green screen, but no, it's just, like you said, poorly lit, poorly shot, tight.
Yeah, I think these were all practical sets.
Oh, they 100% were. Oh, yeah. There was no, like, I mean, Like, the end, the climax of the movie takes place in a construction site, like in a building under construction, probably because that's the only place that was like big enough that they could use to build a portal to hell.
What a portal.
Oh man, some people regard the Bible as stories about extraterrestrials.
Would it surprise you to know that this movie was PG-13?
I mean, with all the murder taking place in it, not really.
There's a few murders, but they're cute murders.
That's true. Plus, people call each other the N-word a lot in this. Like, white people calling each other the N-word. And you're like, well, that's probably going to earn you at least a couple of marks on the ratings.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, the Clumps, that can be PG because it's a bunch of Eddie Murphys calling each other that. That's fine. But when Uncle Josh is calling a 9-year-old girl that, it seems inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
Mm-hmm. And it's in
I
tight.
try to shorten words for the new generation, but...
For the new gen.
Yeah. Jennies.
Ooh. Stand up, show them your Jennies.
The scene between Ted or Dead and Peter at the beginning is just ridiculous. It is just... It's such bad acting. Like, you don't think it could get worse from the camping scene. And it's not worse, but it's just two guys talking, and you don't believe any single line that they deliver.
I mean, the dialogue is a big part of the problem, though, where it's like,
yeah,
like, it's not like you to ask for my help, Ted. You're the real expert on Native American culture. Who talks like that? Who says
you
those
delivered
words?
it so much better than Peter.
Thank you. I didn't deliver it in a Southern accent, so that I didn't do it as good as Peter in that sense, but thank you.
Came from heaven. Space.
Yeah, the professor from the dig rolls out the like pencil shaving or whatever the hell you call it, the tracing or whatever, the rubbing that they did. And it's barely legible. Like, you can barely see what it is, but Peter looks at it and goes like, oh, the Anunnaki showed up and they took our kids and they blah, 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 blah. It's like supposed to be this ancient Native American tablet or something like that. And he just reads it perfectly. Like, there's no problem at all. Beware the Anunnaki. Okay, great tablet. Oh, never mind. It's fake, so it's nothing. Who cares? It's fake. The professor, okay, everyone, listen up. The professor makes a fake tablet to, I guess, like, become famous, but the text that he puts in the fake tablet turns out to be true. Like, it's real what he talks about, which is that the Anunnaki are coming back to enslave humanity. So he just bass backwards falls into the truth somehow and gets domed for it.
Maybe he's I can't even think of the name. Abolo Halahim.
Oh, you're talking about Benny Aloha?
Yeah, Benny Aloha.
Hey,
but
Benny
like
Aloha.
the sons of Benny Aloha.
Exactly, yes. The Benny Baloba.
Yeah, Boboa.
Exactly. The Benny Bubble Tea.
And the little girl that gets entered into this film knows all of these words.
Oh, yeah. That little girl, we found out things we loved thanks to this movie, but I also realized something I hate in movies, and that's kid geniuses. Like, kids that are like, her IQ is 188, and she's just this, like, smug little kid who's like, oh, Mom, you're so dumb. You don't know about the Anunnaki. And it's like, you're 9 years old. Don't act like that. Don't act like you're better than people. Everyone would hate you if you were actually like this. You would have no friends and you would alienate everyone around you. I can't stand kid geniuses.
And her mother is pretty exhausted with her. Like, when she's running to the cabin and she's like, I don't have as much energy as you. She sounds just done with her daughter.
Do you think that's her actual daughter?
I don't know, man. How could you tell by the filming of this or the acting?
I don't know. If you told me that everyone in this movie played to their actual relationships to each other, I'd go, okay, yeah, sure. Jim and Sarah are married and he died of a brain tumor due to exposure to radiation from extraterrestrial visits. Sure, okay, fine. I believe that.
I would like to see them make out.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'd like to see how Kara came about, if you know what I'm saying.
All that blood on his neck?
Oh
Ooh.
my god. Show me how the sausage is made, you know?
That's how porn got created. Somebody was like, "So show me how the sausage is made."
You know, one thing I learned about Peter in this movie is that he has weak faith in faith and science, and it's because of his belief in extraterrestrials. True.
This didn't make any sense to me because it seems like Josh like shut him down about like religion stuff and like gave him like scientific reasoning to not think that religion was a part of these extraterrestrial viewings in the Bible and like other texts.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's set up that Peter lost his way.
Yeah. You know what else doesn't make any sense in this movie? The fact that a black woman is president. Am I right?
Yeah, cut to present day.
Cut to
3
president
years later.
President whatever her name was. We haven't even talked
Yeah, they
about
discovered Eisenrosen Bridge.
an Einstein-Rosen bridge. Yeah. What did you say? An Einstein-Rosen bridge? What is that? It's never explained.
Wormhole.
But those can't exist, idiot. That's not how that wouldn't obey the laws of physics, you stupid idiot. It's got to be an angel traveling from the spiritual realm to the human realm. Idiot, stupid dummy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The physical has to abide by physical laws.
Yeah, exactly. You can light a sword on fire with your mind. That's the physical law. You can open a portal to hell. That's a physical law.
But the spiritual realm does not have to abide by the physical realm.
No. But alien technology could not exist.
This movie makes sense.
It does.
Go out and watch it.
It's a great movie. It's if you love exposition, if you love long scenes of exposition that don't really go anywhere and don't really teach you anything new, then you will love The Watcher's Revelation. There's so much else to talk about. We haven't even talked about Bana the Slayer yet.
What a slayer. He's got a cool voice.
Yeah, he's got a real douchebag look to him and a cool voice. He's got a shirt covered in duct tape and a sword covered in electrical tape.
And a heart filled with hate.
Yeah,
especially for little girls.
That's where the devil lives. I laughed so hard because he breaks into this compound for this crew called the Soldiers of Light. They're like a group of people that think that the government has been infiltrated by aliens, and so they're setting out to expose that. They are not important to this movie at all. So you'd think they would be, but they're not. So he breaks into their compound to get information about Kara, the really smart little kid. And so a bunch of soldiers show up and surround him with guns pointed at him. And they're like, turn around, put your hands behind your head. And he goes, okay, are we doing this? And he pulls out a samurai sword. And I burst out laughing. So I went, all right, I guess that's what kind of movie this is going to be. And then he kills all those people off screen.
Yeah, it's a flame sword.
Yeah, it is a flame sword. It's very cool. And it has electrical tape all over the handle of it when you see it later.
So this is when I thought the movie was going to take off.
Yeah.
And action was going to happen and people were going to die.
We get a little
more
tease.
Exposition.
Oh, this movie is 90 minutes long and 84 minutes of this movie is exposition. And then there are a couple of little action scenes and some CGI and then that's it. That's all you get. So you get ready to fast forward, I guess, through a lot of this movie.
I do like the scene with Kara and Sarah. They're about to have some pancakes. And then Kara asks, do you have any leftover batter? And then the mom's like, maybe.
Oh, I love pancakes.
Is there leftover batter or not, Mom?
Well, she goes, well, maybe. You'll just have to eat all your pancakes first. It's like, well, do you think she's going to eat the extra batter? What's the extra batter for? Why do you want extra batter, girl?
Yeah. Like, make all the pancakes or not. Why is there extra batter?
Yeah, are you going to refrigerate it? That's not a good way to keep batter. Don't do that.
No, you make it the pancake and then you refrigerate it for later.
Hey, you make enough batter to make enough pancakes. But you know what?
But then,
Well, maybe she was just trying to use that batter in order to power her holo computer that she built so she could geocache better. Everything I said is true. Everything I said is real in the movie.
Yeah, this happens a little bit later, but it definitely happens. I guess like geocaching was a big thing then.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I still hear about geocaching. It's like, okay, you can't just go for a walk. You have to go for a fancy walk. All right, that's fine. Do your thing. Love your life.
Yeah, they got a geocache.
Yeah. Have you ever geocached?
No, have you?
No, God, no. I'm an adult.
Maybe we should.
Nah. Maybe we should geocache and then leave DVD copies of The Watcher's Revelation in the geocache boxes for people.
Do you think there is such a physical media out there that we could purchase?
I don't know. That's tough. Maybe we'll just leave our PureFlix login information on pieces of paper for people and just say, watch The Watcher's Revelation.
I almost said our password, but not going to do it. You didn't get me there, listener. You frickin' listener.
You dummies. Good luck with that one.
Trying to hack us.
You killed him.
But
you killed my Jim.
Bruce Banner shows up to their pancake party.
That's right, yeah.
And
Banner.
Sarah empties a clip on him.
And by that he means she shoots him 4 times in the chest, and then the gun clicks empty, and you go, well, why wouldn't you put more bullets in that gun? Why wouldn't you prepare?
I made my wife watch this trailer twice.
Nice.
And that was our favorite part, watching her like scaredly shoot this guy. Just like, just like very loose gripped. And
it makes me think that gun has been fired before. Like that clip had, I don't know how many bullets are in a clip, but it had a full clip at one time. And then they just shot enough home intruders that now there's just 4 bullets left in it. And they went, this is all we've got. Save 2, 1 for me and 1 for Kara, I guess. But nope, shoot them all into this guy's chest.
They get home invaded by angels quite a bit.
Oh, it's constantly happening. Ethan shows up. Bana shows up. Adon does not show up.
No.
Ooh,
not to Kara and Sarah. Adon shows up quite a few places, but not Freaky Friday.
Adon's role in this doesn't make any sense. He's the alien ambassador. I'm doing quotation marks. He's the alien ambassador who talks to the president. So you think that like, okay, this guy's like an emissary of heaven or something like that, because he's like, we gave you technology to protect yourselves and to further your civilization and all that. And then you just find out at the end that like, nah, he's the devil. And you're like, well, why was he helping humanity then? Like, why was he giving them stuff and taking care of them? I don't understand.
Well, he was sullying their hearts in consumerism.
Oh. Okay, I
course.
gotcha. Yeah. He invented keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, he is the Annunaci.
Exactly. Throw your diamonds in the sky if you feel the vibe.
Is that what the Annunaci is?
No,
the
that's
Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, you say diamond, but it looks more like a spade when you hold your hands up like that.
Yeah, it does look like a spade. Can we say spade on the podcast?
I don't think so. I think that word's been canceled. I don't think you can say it anymore. Hey, put your hand up like this, and I'll put my hand up like this, and then we'll put our fingers together, and when we open it up, it'll look like a vagina in our fingers. You know what I'm talking about? You ever do that as a kid?
I know what a box is, but I don't know what a vagina is.
It's just a box. It's a place where you commit a Slitheracci special.
Speaking of which, we found our lead actor for Slitheracci.
Oh, P tier. Right? I'm assuming that's who you're talking about? Or Evan, the guy who looks like Weird Al Yankovic's loser son.
A P tier.
Yes, Peter.
This was his first acting role.
And probably last, I'm guessing.
Nope, he's done quite a few things since.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
I was dumbfounded to figure that out.
What's the thing you were most excited to find out about him?
That he got more acting jobs. That was literally the biggest thing.
I mean, he's a hunk.
He's also very sexy, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why he's getting work. Ugh, only the hot ones get work. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's so smooth, and his chest is so smooth, and he's chubby, but not too chubby.
No.
He's the perfect man's man.
Mm-hmm. When he's talking to Sarah and he throws his arm over the back of the chair and you see his nipple pressed against his shirt and you're like, hello, all right, I'm into this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fully into this. I could not believe, he was one of the main actors. Like when he talks to Ted early on, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, we'll see him for this scene, and then he's gone because this is
Mm-mm,
the worst
mm-mm.
acting I've ever seen in my entire life.
Main
But
character.
he's got a good face.
He's got a better face than Ted.
Yeah.
I know.
Star.
When we met Sarah and Jim, I had this sinking feeling that was like, oh no, we're gonna follow these two and their awful relationship through this whole movie. And then Jim died, and I went, I think I would have preferred if Jim was the one who survived. Like, I think out of the two of them, Jim is the slightly better actor, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Between Jim and Peter, I would probably pick Jim. I don't know, man.
I don't
it's
know either.
it's a mixed bag.
Oh.
I'd rather have by the book Bast be the
Oh,
main character.
NSA agent by the book Bast. Yeah, you bet.
Yes, they are more characters in this movie.
That's right. NSA agents who... One of them, the woman NSA agent, looks like my old banker, and it was very distracting the entire movie. You're just like, I don't like that I have to look at her this whole time. Think about my old bank account.
That must have been rough for you, man.
It was a hardship. Yeah, it was a real cross I had to bear. But, when in Rome, right?
She does look like an every woman. Like, she just looks like that teacher or that librarian or that banker that you run into.
Yeah, what she doesn't look like is a highly trained NSA agent. That's the only thing she doesn't really look like.
Yeah, and by the book Bast doesn't really give off a lot of NSA vibes either.
No. He gives off vibes like, oh, this guy's a bus driver, and maybe he hits his wife? I don't know. Tough to say, but that's the vibe I get from him.
Assistant high school coach.
Yeah, good call, yeah.
Volleyball.
I mean, the way he abducts that little girl, sure, yeah, he definitely is involved with kids in some way in his real life.
Yeah, he Slitherachis that girl right out of that cabin.
He's an alien. He's not an alien, Mom. He's a Bene Elohim. Okay, well, none of that makes any sense either. So don't act like that clears things up for me, Kara.
Yeah, she's meant to explain things to the audience, but she just comes off like a prike.
Yeah, exactly, a prike.
When my first watch through this movie, I could not figure out what the delineation between the Annunaci and the Igigi were.
Okay,
and
let me explain
silly
it to
names.
you. I'll explain it to you. I know the difference. Do you know?
Well, explain it to our listeners.
No, I'm explaining it to you. Listeners, shut this off. Fast forward a few minutes. This is just for Jonathan Taylor.
This is hard talk.
That's right. So, are you ready? Listeners, stop. Take your earbuds out. John, the Annunaci are the bad angels or the bad demons. They're the bad aliens that are trying to enslave humanity. And the Igigi are the good angels or the good aliens that are trying to free humanity and make them like free from all the tyranny and all the nonsense that God puts them through. And that's also the Bene Elohim. They're the Igigi.
No.
Yeah.
The Igigi are the children to the Annunaci, and the Bene Elohim are totally separate. They're the good angels. That is correct.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I don't think so, man. I think you're wrong.
Let's watch it again.
All right.
Let's pause this movie.
We'll be back in 90 minutes. Malibu Dance!
Yeah, let's talk about the next Malibu
I
Dance.
can't wait. Macaroni and Sneeze. Nah, we recorded that a long time ago, and it's not coming out for a long time from now.
Yep.
It's going to come out in the middle of May-dia. Ooh, there's a teaser for you listeners.
I have so many little notes that are like, the Igigi might be the Annunaci? Just
Well,
like a bunch of question marks.
especially considering Adon at different points of the movie is like, I'm an Igigi, and then later on goes, I'm an Anunnaki, and you're like, well, what are you? I don't understand. But your explanation does make sense. The Igigi are the children of the Anunnaki?
I think so.
So the Anunnaki bred with people and made the Igigi, and then the Bene Elohim are, God, this is so stupid. The Bene Elohim are angels. Because the Anunnaki are demons. They're the fallen ones. Those are demons.
Fallen angels.
Exactly. Satan's kids in Satan's service, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Bene
Elohim.
Brahamis are the ones that the Bene Elohim mated with to great, humans. It's so good.
It's so good. It's crystal clear.
Yeah.
God, I don't even know. Like,
I mean, the kid takes his mom to go to see
Her
Uncle
mom.
Josh.
Yeah, not her uncle, just a man that Ethan the Bene Elohim told her to go see. So she goes to this old man and is like, "Oh, you're Uncle Josh." And he goes, "You must be Kara." And she goes, "How do you know?" And he goes, "Ethan told me." And then he winks at her and she goes, "Oh, Ethan told me too." Okay, great. I love
Ethan Ward is a good angel, and he talks like this. Very soothing.
His
and
butthole,
calmly.
as we've established on the show, his butthole is wide open. That's how he talks.
Yeah.
Sleep.
He's accepting of the butthole stuff.
I love when Peter, like, makes a glass of warm milk and then goes to sleep with a half full glass of milk next to his bed, which is disgusting.
Oh,
And
that's
then
so disgusting.
he lays down and turns off the light and lays down in bed. And then Ethan appears beside his bed and goes, "Sleep, dream." And it's like, wait 5 minutes, he would have been doing all of that. You didn't really do anything here, Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan's just a creepy guy who thinks he's an angel that keeps like stalking people.
Right? He just
Sleep, dream.
He just lies to Josh when he meets him, and he's like, "I'm friends. I went to university with your nephew Peter." It's like, you're a Bene Elohim. You're not allowed to lie.
And stupid Josh apparently has the powers of the flesh and can see.
Yes, right. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, because Sarah and Peter don't believe. They believe in aliens, or they don't know what to believe. And so old man Josh goes, "Well, let me show you what me and Kara have been seeing all afternoon." And he puts his arms around them, and then suddenly they're like, "Huh?" And the room is filled with like light beings and like blue light and like dust, I guess. I don't know. It's filled with like
light dust.
The golden compass dust, that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? You ever read his Dark Materials?
Nope.
Good books. You should read them. They're cool. They're fun. Better than this garbage, that's for sure.
Garbage. This is so good.
You're right. It is so good. I apologize.
So holo computers, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. The girl invents new technology. Who cares? It doesn't matter. She's got an IQ of 188. She invented holo computers. Sure.
Yeah. But by the book Bast takes her away.
Yeah. By the book Bast and his partner, Dumpy Everywoman, show up at the cabin to talk to Peter, talk to all the people there. And then by the book Bast is like, "Okay, you talk to old man Josh and I'll talk to the girl. I'll take the girl outside and talk to her." And then he just kidnaps her. You're like, "Oh, whoops. Ooh, whoopsies. Oh, well."
Smooth criminal.
Oh, yeah.
You really got him there.
Didn't check for her geotag, though. Idiot.
Yeah, idiot.
Like, where is her geotag? Because, okay, so by the book Bast takes her to Bana at like a construction site so Bana can kill her. But Bana's like, "You were followed here." And he's like, "No, it wasn't They say that the vehicles of the NSA are painted with like GPS. They're painted with GPS. I don't know what that means. I don't know how like the paint has GPS in it. I don't know what that means.
It was painted with GPS.
Oh, okay.
Zachary.
That makes sense. It was painted with GPS, but he goes, I ditched my vehicle a long time ago. It's going to take him forever to find us. And Bana, the Slayer, goes, "You didn't check the girl." And he like reaches behind her neck and pulls out a geotag. And I went, where was that? Like, was that?
I think what they're trying to pull off is that it was under her collar, but like there was no way that it would have stayed under her like golf shirt collar.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be clipped on or anything like that. And like,
no.
It just doesn't, it's just dumb and bad. And they use the geocache on the holo computer to find her by following her tag. You go, "Oh, good thing they, brought that into the movie 5 minutes ago." And then they used it. Good
Script writing.
Good script writing.
So much continuity. But this is all setting up for Bene Elohim and Igigi fight.
Bana the Slayer, please. Call him by his name.
Right, the principalities, the powers, the rulers of darkness.
Doesn't sound any different from the government. By the book. By the book, baby.
By the book. So sword fight ensues, a flaming sword fight, and you're thinking this is going to be great, and it's the worst sword fight ever.
It's so lazy. Like, it's just like, ugh. Yeah. So Ethan and Bana the Slayer sword fight each other with flaming swords, and it's just,
Especially Ethan's part. Like,
he mostly just
it
lays
seems
on
like
the ground.
Bana could do something.
He's the Slayer. Like,
Yeah.
Do you like Bana the Slayer? Do you like that character?
I thought he was probably one of the most interesting characters.
Well, how would you like to watch an entire prequel series about him and his adventures? Because after this after this movie was made a few years later in 2017, Corbin Dallas himself, or whatever his name is, made a prequel series about Bana called Bana the Slayer, and it's, from what I can tell, the episodes are 5 to 7 minutes long. They're all on Amazon Prime America, so we can't watch them. Unless you have a VPN, then we can watch them. But all the reviews are that this is awful. And there's a trailer. There's a trailer on YouTube for it, and it looks baller. It looks awesome.
Oh my god.
He's stabbing
that
people.
Sounds so fun.
He's leaving bodies in his wake. There's a shot of him stabbing someone through their chest and like lifting them up. Like, his flaming sword is everywhere. And he's like, I've killed kings. I've slaughtered entire towns, but I don't know if I'm doing the right thing anymore or not. So it's like Bana's having like second thoughts about being the Slayer.
Oh no, he's questioning his
faith.
Face.
He's questioning his face in the mirror. I think we should try to track down. Sorry, it's not called Bana the Slayer. I'm wrong. It's called Bana Heart of Darkness. That's what it's called.
Yeah, and that's where the devil lives.
Exactly.
In your heart.
It stars Kyle Hotz as Bana Heart of Darkness himself, and here's a brief summary of what it's about. Army intelligence officers investigate the Soldiers of Light, a paramilitary group, and their connection with a string of murders dating back several years. Meanwhile, the Soldiers of Light are using a gaming program to recruit new members in their struggle against the Annunaci. In the middle of all of this is Bana the Slayer. How awesome does that sound?
I definitely think we should get our hands on this. Maybe we could email Tommy D and see if he has a DVD.
Bro, I'm going to put that in your hands. You're the Twitter master. Get us a copy of Bana Heart of Darkness from Tom Dallas. I think you could.
Probably. I could sweet talk him.
Yeah, none of the websites for it exist anymore. Everything in regards to it is gone. The only place it exists is on Amazon Prime, so you could probably get it from him somehow.
Yeah, I'm really upset when things are on Amazon Prime and they're not available to us. I mean, just make it available to us, especially little stuff like this.
Yeah, so, okay, here's what we're going to do. You are going to do everything in your power to get us this movie, or this short TV series, and then if we do, listeners, tune in tomorrow, because we'll put out a special Pure Boys Watch special where we watch Bana Heart of Darkness and review it, and we'll put it out on Wednesday. If nothing comes out on Wednesday, then this didn't work. But if something comes out on Wednesday, then it means that it worked, and we're watching Bana Heart of Darkness. So I promise
you're giving me a time frame of a week?
Yeah, I'm giving you. It's like a week and a half. You got lots of time.
I gotta start pulling strings. I gotta send them a couple of pics.
Yeah,
I gotta lube them up.
Bro, you can do it. I trust you. I believe in you. I have faith. As Limp Bizkit once said, you got to have faith, and I have faith.
Give me at least 8 months.
No, you have a week and a half. And if nothing comes out on Wednesday, then we're never talking about Bana Heart of Darkness ever. But if Bana Heart of Darkness special comes out on Wednesday, then you know it worked, and that Jonathan Taylor did his job and did a great job at it.
And if you don't see it, know that I am dead.
That's right, yeah.
My heart.
He took a flaming sword through the chest from me, Zechariah Ty Bryant the Slayer.
Are you Annunaci?
I am a Beni Alahim.
There's one thing we know. We are the Watchers.
We are the Watchers! So, whatever. Ethan loses the sword fight. The dude, Bana the Slayer, is about to kill the little girl when she just looks at him and starts speaking Hebrew and is like, Balak Malahim. And then, like, a big portal to hell opens behind him, and Ethan comes up and just like casually pushes him into hell. And Bana the Slayer, who's existed for thousands of years and killed kings and slaughtered cities, just looks like embarrassed. Like he's just kind of like, oh, and then gets pushed into hell. He doesn't struggle. He doesn't try to stop it from happening. He just goes, oh, and then is gone into hell.
He looks sad, but not like I'm going to get banned to the most evil eternity of all time. Yeah. He looks like he didn't do his homework.
Right? Yeah, and it was like, the dog ate my homework, and the teacher went, no, it didn't. And he went, oh. You got me.
But it did, though.
But this little girl said, the Lord rebuke you.
Boom. Maybe that froze him in time.
Maybe, yeah. The lawless one is coming soon. And then Ethan whispers sweet nothings in Kara's ear and disappears.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful storytelling.
And then she goes, we are the Watchers. That's what Ethan told me. We are the Watchers. And then Peter, Sarah, Josh, who's like 95 years old, and Kara are apparently the Watchers, who are supposed to keep an eye out for the Annunaci who are coming back to enslave humanity, because they are coming back.
Yeah, that's the whole thing of this movie, is that we are the Watchers.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
Watch, for the day is coming. Saint Mark said that.
Now I get it.
Now you get it. Yep. And then there's a post-credit scene where another bald guy wearing like, I don't know, some kink clothing. Like he's wearing like a Hellraiser costume, essentially. He comes walking up and we get all these flashbacks to like, he was a Secret Service agent throughout the movie, apparently. But like, attention is never drawn to him. So it means nothing when we see this guy. And it's like, he was here the whole time. Well, blink and you miss him, right? Like it doesn't. You didn't set him up in any kind of way. He's just a dude who was there with the president, I guess.
Yeah, this is meant to blow your effing mind, but it's a non-issue. Because they're trying to set up a sequel, and it doesn't exist.
Well, and especially considering that, like, they show he was there in the 50s with the president and in the modern day with the president. And it's like, nobody ever questioned that. Nobody ever was like, who is this guy? Like, what? There's pictures of this guy with the president from 70 years ago. Are we not going to ask any questions about that? No? Okay. Instead, he just shows up with his cool sword, way cooler sword than the one that Bane of the Fallen had, and is like, they failed, but I will not fail. I will get the girl. And then we pan around, and it's friggin' Add-on looking at him going, I am the captain now, or whatever he says. I don't know. Some nonsense.
I think he salutes somebody.
I think he salutes our shorts, I think is what he does.
Salutes our shorts.
Salute our shorts. What did you think of The Watchers Revelation?
I loved watching it. I love the exposition. I love the stupid like loose connections to Bible and ancient writings and how they talk about gods or extraterrestrials and all this stupid conspiracy stuff that was written in times past is very fun to listen to. Also very tough to listen to. It is a slog, but it's a slog I'm willing to take because I just love bad acting.
It's a slog you took twice.
Yeah.
Oof. That's one more time than I did.
I fast forwarded through some parts because I had to, I was a little hungover. So.
Well, you're Benny Elohim, so you have the powers to fast forward.
I'm Ben Gay Halloween, and that's what I think. I give this 99 crucifixes out of a problem.
Wow. I give this one Benny Elohim out of all the Anunnaki in the universe.
So when are we doing this again?
What do you mean? Watching this again? Never. We're never talking about this movie again. Unless, of course, you get in touch with Tom Dallas and you get us a copy of Bana Heart of Darkness, and then tomorrow, the Pure Boys Watch special, Bana Heart of Darkness, comes out. And if it doesn't come out again, then just know that Jonathan Taylor failed completely like an idiot and didn't get us Bana Heart of Darkness.
Well, I don't want to tell you to get ready for failure because I will maybe try at this.
You should try. You should.
But what were your thoughts of this movie? You loved it.
I loved it. I loved all the great acting. I loved all the hunks. I loved Kara's teeth and just how many of them there were. I loved that halfway through this movie, I thought that it was going to end with the rapture, and I was very excited about that because they were like, he is coming, and I'm like, oh, is it going to be like, is Jesus going to come back and it's going to look like an alien abduction, but it's just the rapture? I was very excited for that kind of ending, and instead it ended with two wet farts sword fighting in an old warehouse, and then a guy falling into a hell, and just like, who cares? I've never been more let down by an ending in a movie, and but I loved it regardless. And so you heard
I think
my
that's
rating.
what he was setting up for the sequel, was the
rapture,
destruction of mankind.
Well, we're never getting one, but we are gonna get like, God, there's so many rapture movies and like rapture series, like entire trilogies of movies about the rapture that we'll get to at some point. And I'm so like, Revelation Road is a trilogy of movies about the end times, and I can't wait to watch them. So
yeah, this got me really hyped for when we get to all those movies.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling this might be the only movie we watch that is somehow that ties Christianity and aliens together, though. I don't know if we're going to get that marriage again, which is disappointing because there is a lot of meat on that bone. You could tell a really cool, interesting story with that. I just don't think Tom Dallas sticks the landing with this one.
Tough words, but fair.
Thank you. That's my stance. That's my gospel. Anything else? Anything else you want to say about this movie?
I'm gonna watch this movie again. I will watch this movie again in my lifetime.
It's your life, man.
I loved it.
It's your life. It's your friggin' life, man. Whatever.
I'm gonna get a Slurpee. I'm gonna put a
That's
pint
cool.
of rum in it.
That's
and
cool.
I'm gonna watch the heck out of this movie.
All right, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah.
I'm coming across as a real booze hound, hey?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are hungover.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a few episodes where you've been hungover, so
Yeah, second one. I gotta tighten it up.
Nah.
I'll tighten up my life, folks.
No, man, don't. You're good.
Tighten the screws.
You know what else? I love you.
I love you.
We love you.
Pure Boys Podcast. You open your app, then listen to us, yeah. On and on and on, talking Christian movies, 'cause it's just the Pure Boys Podcast. Pure Boys Podcast. Pure Boys Podcast.
We
are the
Watchers.